What's up YouTube, Capital G here, talking a new Blackwing in this video. It's a synchro monster and it is a new assault Blackwing. Oh snap. But just before you get a little too hyped up, let me just tell you, from my experience in Arc V, and I have seen every single episode that they have shown of the show. I'm actually current on it. Assault Blackwings don't really do anything more than just like the regular synchros. It's just kind of like a fancy title. It's not anything like the assault mode monsters that they released in the 5Ds era, where you summon them in a completely different way. You know, you summon those dudes with assault mode activate, and they were kind of similar to the synchro monsters that they were related to. This isn't anything like that. It's just a regular synchro. Here's a picture of the card. It actually looks pretty cool, and what I've noticed, oddly enough, is a lot of the new Blackwing synchro monsters don't even look like birds. They look like men in bird suits. I think Sirocco was like that too, if I'm not mistaken. But some of the Blackwings are actual birds, and then some of them are like men in bird suits, which is like really weird. So still not really sure why that is. But anyways, Crow uses Blackwings on the show. That's why we're still getting Blackwing support. Believe me, if they would have made this card a year ago, I would have been the first person to say, yo, Konami, what's the deal? Give us a rank 4. This doesn't make sense to be, still releasing synchros. Blackwings are popular. They're a fan favorite, but, no one really plays them that much in competitive play. It's because the character is still he's a prominent character on the TV show Arc V. They're in the synchro dimension. He's actually taking part of a tournament, the Friendship Cup. He's in this freaking semifinal, so he's 2 matches away from actually winning the damn thing, and he's about to duel against the main character Yuya and the Friendship Cup. Now, the strangest thing is, I am 100. I've seen every single episode of Arc V. I do not remember him summoning this card, and I just went back to Shun versus Crow. I was like, well, maybe he summoned it in this. I just watched that match yesterday. I've never seen this card before, so this is something brand new. I'm gonna assume he's going to summon this versus Yuya in the next match, which should be in it should be starting in the next episode of Arc V. But if not, then I don't know what the heck is going on. Now, I did a search on Dueling Network for synchros, Blackwing synchros. There's only 7 of them on Dueling Network. Yo, if you watch the show, I swear to goodness, there's been at least 4 or 5 that have never been that have not been announced in the TCG or the OCG. I mean, this guy has a level 12. He's got level 3s on the show. Granted, he summoned them recently, so they got to get time to print the cards and alter the effects and whatnot. I hope this is a good card, but I kind of hope they alter the last effect to make it more playable. So again, this is Assault Blackwing Chidori the Light Rain. As soon as I saw Rain in the name, I immediately thought of this guy, Raikiri, who Crow summons that card all the time on the show. I think during his duel against Shun, he summoned it. I think he summoned it 3 times in that one duel. It could have been 2, but I know he summoned it more than once. Of course, it's a dark winged beast because of Blackwing. That's part of the deal. Level 7, which I think this is the 3rd level 7 for Blackwings as far as synchros go. It is 2600, 2000 attack, or excuse me, 2000 defense, 2600 attack. Good base stat line. For level 6, 2600 is nothing that you can be mad at. It's generic. It requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters, but just because it's generic doesn't mean you're going to want to summon it in anything else. Summon it in Blackwings because you get all the bonus effects. Number 1, if this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster as material, it is treated as a tuner while on the field. So at first I was kind of wondering why all of these new Blackwing monsters are treating themselves as tuners. It's because Blackwings, at least the way Crow plays them, they kind of like to synchro up. I assume that Yusei kind of synchroed up to make Quasar, he probably used tuners, but those tuners were probably synchros in themselves, at least if he made Quasar anyways. But Blackwings are kind of doing the same thing. They do have a level 12 synchro monster, and one of the ways that the way that he made it was by using a synchro that counted itself as a tuner. So ideally they want you to be able to use this effect to go into said card to make it a little easier. I mean, if you can somehow get if you can get there without using any synchros, more power to you. They just, I guess, want to give you the option of doing that. Effect number 2, this card gains 300 attack for each Blackwing in your graveyard. This is probably the effect that will benefit the card the most because it's instant access, it's just instant attack. If you summon this by synchro summon, you're going to have at least 2 in the graveyard, which means you're going to get 600 attack. That takes this guy to 3,200 attack, which is, that's unheard of for a level 6, or excuse me, a level 7 synchro. Like 3,200 attack, like you can run over a fucking Star Eater or a Leo, or you know what I mean? Like that is insane for a freaking level 7 that is generic. Granted, if you summon it without Blackwings, you're not going to get the effect, but in general, I could see this card in the mid to late game being amazing. I mean, you're talking about this guy potentially getting over like 4,000 if you summon it really late in the game and you're not using like Vayu where you're banishing your stuff. Like I could see this going really, really high. Effect number 3. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one winged beast synchro monster in your graveyard except itself. Special summon that monster. Okay, this effect is really good, but Konami should have adjusted it to power creep. And what I mean is they should have made it so that anytime the card leaves the field in any way, it gets the effect, because you just got to think of how many ways there are to get rid of monsters without killing them, like when they're on the field. You got to think about this. Rippling Mirror Force is coming out in this set. People are going to be playing that shit, definitely. That's a card that could fuck this card up easily. Stormy Mirror Force is already seeing play. That just spins it to your extra deck. That's the same exact thing, essentially, as Rippling Mirror Force does, because the synchros can't go to your hand. So there are a lot of ways to get monsters off the board, Castel, 101, etc., without actually having to destroy them. Banish them is another thing. Or even if you destroy them, if they don't hit the graveyard, if my opponent has like Dark Law, I don't get the effect. So it should have just been if it leaves the field or if it's just destroyed. It shouldn't have to go to the graveyard for it to actually trigger. Now, what I do like about the effect is the fact that it can activate during the battle phase. So if I happen to ram into, if you run this over with a big monster, which it's going to be hard to run this over in battle considering it gets the 300 attack gain. I could have Collude or something like that, which is searchable by Whirlwind. I can summon a monster immediately. And the thing is, you can actually summon non-Blackwing monsters, which is kind of crazy. I don't think you're going to have any non-Blackwing monsters, but you could summon, hypothetically, just any random, like, what's it called? I can't think of any other winged beast off the top of my head that are synchros, but you can summon any of them. And you can even summon the freaking level 12. Like, if you somehow got the level 12 out and you didn't win already, then shame on you. But if it did die, you actually can summon it out off of this guy's effect. So maybe you ram into something bigger that is somehow bigger than this card and get the rank 12 and then run that card over. But I don't really see this card getting run over in battle. Like, point blank period. I just don't see it happening because it's going to be too damn big. Chances are you can have Kalutes to make it 1,400 more. The card is actually really good. I just wish that it didn't. I wish that it didn't get wrecked by Stormy Mirror Force and Rippling Mirror Force. I wish you still got the monster. That would make this card perfect. Then the problem is it's kind of too late to, like, they can't really errata it because this is like the final text of the card, but it's still a really solid card, really good for a level 7. And I would run, to me, I think you have to run one of this. Like, I don't really know if you need to run Armor Master anymore. I would run Rakiri, and I would definitely run this if you're going to play Blackwing. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.